I've got 8 awesome Notes apps for you today. We're gonna go through the list, look at who should use what, and then I'll let you know what app I personally use. Let's get started. First up is Simplenote, which is unsurprisingly pretty simple. You can add some formatting to your notes with things like lists and checkboxes, as well as some headings if you enable Markdown mode, but not a ton more. You can link to other notes with square brackets, giving it a tiny bit of power user functionality, and you can also organize your notes with tags. One cool feature is that you can publish your notes to the web for free. Great for sharing class notes, meeting minutes, or whatever else. It's bare bones, but it works. Simplenote syncs to your phone and to the web, so you can really access your notes anywhere. And that's it. It's dead simple and it's completely free. A step up from Simplenote is Bear. And I won't lie, Bear is a really nice looking app. It actually got an award from Apple. Twice. Styling in Bear is super easy. You can bold, italicize, or strike through with just a few taps. And the mobile app has this ingenious custom keyboard, so you can still edit while you're on your phone. Bear also has a functional iPad app. Organization is easy with tags, which you can even nest into a sort of folder structure. And Bear has lots of little convenience features, like a reading time indicator. Unfortunately though, Bear doesn't sync between devices unless you cough up $3 a month or $30 a year. The Pro version also gives you access to more themes, app icons, and export options, but I think $30 a year is pretty steep for a Notes app. Now, this next app might be a little bit unexpected, but it is worth giving it a try, and that is Apple Notes. Notes has become way more powerful in the last few years, and it's really not a bad note-taking app at this point. It syncs between everything, and it integrates really well with Apple devices. You can even get Siri to write out notes for you. Formatting is a little annoying, especially stuff like changing text color, but there's enough there to get by. You can even backlink with a couple of these guys. Collaborating with friends and family is super easy, well, as long as they have Apple devices. And little known fact, you can even access your notes from a web browser with iCloud. It's all pretty good, especially considering it's free. Now we get into the juicy stuff. Upnote is up first. The app really emphasizes organization through what they call notebooks, which are basically just folders. You can nest notebooks, which is nice, and you can also add tags if you're into that. The editor is pretty easy to use and has all the standard features you'd expect. Upnote has a lot of bonus features though, and most of them are free. You get built-in version history, so you can see previous versions of your notes. You can publish your notes online, similar to Simplenote. You can change the font size, and spacing. You can turn on typewriter mode, which I really appreciate. It moves the text so that the line you're editing is always right in the middle of the screen. That way you never have to awkwardly look up or down to see what you're writing. There are a few features locked behind a paywall though. You're limited to 50 notes on the free tier, and you can't add images or tables. Upnote Premium is $3 a month, like Bear, or you can get a lifetime license for $40. Pricey for a Notes app, but if you use it for a year and a half, you've saved money versus the subscription. Either way, your notes will sync to the mobile app, which is pretty solid. It looks similar to the Mac app and lets you add little drawings to your notes. Our next app produces really nice looking notes, and that app is Craft. If you ever need to publish or display your work, Craft is definitely the way to go. You can even present your notes PowerPoint style by adding dividers to separate slides. It's pretty slick and easy and looks way better than most PowerPoint presentations I've seen. The app really pushes you to create nested pages and cards, which look great, but I have found they can get a little bit laggy if you add too much content to one page. Hopefully that's something they can address in a future update. The editing experience is pretty intuitive, and there are lots of little convenience features. You can pull in images from Unsplash to make your notes prettier. Craft supports code and math formatting. It has a whiteboard feature to add drawings, charts, and images. You can even create tables with spreadsheet-like features and formulas. Craft also has a focus mode, activated with command and period, to hide everything except the text that you're currently editing. Great to lock in to classes or meetings. There's a massive template library included for everything from journaling and goal tracking to meeting and school notes. I use the meal planner template all the time to sketch out my food for the week, and it really comes in handy. Craft even integrates an AI assistant. I personally haven't found much use other than for summarizing lecture notes, but it's there if you want to play around with having ChatGPT write in your notes. The Craft mobile app is super solid. You just edit blocks by swiping to the side. Even better, you can view and edit your notes from a browser and share them with other people, even if they don't use Craft. There are a few limitations to the app, which I think are a little weird. You're stuck with 4 preset fonts, you can't choose a custom highlight color, and you don't get much control over spacing or alignment. And without the Pro plan, you're pretty limited in the number of notes you can create. The subscription isn't cheap, and I don't think it gives you enough extra features to really be worth it. You mainly get more publishing options and higher AI usage limits. It is worth noting though that Craft does have an education discount of 100%. It's completely free if you're a student or a teacher. It feels crazy to explain Notion. The app is super popular and it's been all over productivity YouTube in the last few years. It reportedly has around 35 million users, which, for comparison, is almost as many as the number of people that live in Canada. Notion is a self-described everything app. In some ways, it's similar to Craft. You get tons of formatting options and ways to make fancy documents. But where Notion really shines is in its databases. Once you enter your data into a document, you can view it as a table, a Kanban board, a list, a calendar, a gallery, and you can switch between these anytime. Then you can filter, sort, and link items together. It's super powerful and way more than most people will ever need, but it's all there. Like Craft, Notion has lots of templates and advanced sharing capabilities. My day job uses it for project dashboards and it comes in super handy. Now, there are a couple of downsides. Notion basically doesn't work offline at all. And the mobile app isn't my favorite. It really just feels like a mobile website stuck onto my home screen. Notion's free plan is pretty generous, though they do have a pro plan for $10 a month, as well as lots of options for businesses. Our next app, and by far the most customizable on this list, is Obsidian. At first glance, it looks pretty simple. You've got your editor in the middle and your files in the sidebar on the left. But Obsidian really comes to life with plugins, which allow you to totally customize the experience. You can get plugins to add drawings, fancy tables, templates, tasks, Kanban boards, a calendar, the list goes on. There are also over 100 themes, and you can edit them further so everything is exactly to your liking. It can be overwhelming at first, but Obsidian is super powerful if you really get into the groove. There's even a whole YouTube subgenre of Obsidian customization if you need a rabbit hole to fall into. The whole app is built around text files that are stored locally on your device, so there's no risk of everything disappearing if Obsidian shuts down one day. This does make synchronizing notes between devices a bit more difficult though. I found the best option was to store your notes in an iCloud folder, but Obsidian does offer a sync service for a few dollars a month if you prefer a first-party solution. Our last app is Anytype. And I will preface this by saying that getting into Anytype, it's not easy. It has the steepest learning curve of any notes app I've ever used, and it isn't close. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining Anytype. In many ways, it's similar to Craft and Notion in its ability to create complex docs and link things together. Where it differs is in its note organization and type system. Anytype isn't just about notes. You can add tasks, people, projects, or anything else. And you can create custom types and add templates for them in seconds. This allows for some pretty cool use cases far beyond just note-taking. You can add calendars, dashboards, the list goes on. Anytype is completely free for personal use. You can upgrade for more collaboration, but it's in no way required. So that's the list, 8 note-taking apps. But which one should you use? Well, here are my thoughts. Apple Notes is worth a look if you just want something simple. But if it doesn't quite tick all the boxes, Upnote and Bear should be next on your list. If you need advanced database capabilities, give Notion a try. If you want total control and local file storage, check out Obsidian or Anytype. But if having pretty documents is a top priority, Craft is the way to go. And finally, Simplenote provides a solid, minimal experience. As for me, if you haven't already guessed, I use Craft. It looks nice and it's more than powerful enough for what I need. Let me know if there was an app that should have been on this list that didn't make it. I'm always interested to try something new. That's all for now. See you next time.